Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the major, number HIT-118. This is a template for drilling alarm lock Trilogy locks, T2, T3, T3 Ppox. So this is basically a 7-pound piece of aluminum and steel fixture that you're going to get attached to the door, and it will allow you to very quickly and, more importantly, accurately prep all the function holes for an alarm lock Trilogy. And let's just take some basic dimensional properties of this, and then we'll do a dive into the installation instructions and methodology, what to watch out for. Overall height of the template, jig, fixture, whatever you'd like to call it, looks like it's about 9 1/4. The overall width looks like it's about 3 inch, and front to back it's going to be about 5 inch. Okay, as these two bolts that are sticking out here, that stays there. They're meant to be there. That is what you would use to convert from a 2 3/4 to a 2 3/8 back set, should you need to do that. This will be able to accommodate most certainly 1 3/4 thick doors. I don't think it'll go to 2 1/4, but we will discover that. Let's just thread that out now and take a look. Yeah, that's really going to be 1 3/4. Will it go down to 1 3/8? Sure. I happen to not know if the Trilogy lock will go down to 1 3/8. I expect that it would. It's going to include installation instructions, and it's going to include 2 Allen wrenches, which you will need for properly setting and fixturing the tool down to the work. Let's take a deep dive into what this is. So what is this used for? Well, the bottom line is you have a door that's likely going to have a 161 prep in it, and you need to make it, an alarm lock Trilogy lock work it. So what's going to happen with this is you've got this L-shaped assembly that's bolted together. Just bear with me a moment. And here it is. L-shaped assembly. Okay. This disc on the back here is going to seat into your 2 1/8 inch hole. And what you'll do is attach this to the door. You're going to bring your other plate up to it. This bolt is what's going to go through on the exterior side in that silver bushing. Then it will bolt into that same bushing, so to speak. I'm just going to place this on my desk so I can thread that together. That's what the larger Allen wrench is for, to get that in there, to be able to rotate that. Okay, so you'll get that seated, and then you're going to tighten this down onto the door. You don't need to over tighten it. You're going to want to absolutely make sure that your kit is completely flush to the edge of the door on the inside plate. These 2 bolts you would remove and thread to the inside should you need to do a 2 3/8. Right now, when they're on the outside, it's 2 3/4. So what you're going to end up prepping here is going to be, and we'll confirm it on the installation instructions, but 3/8 and 3/8, that's your lever through holes, so to speak, at 12 and 6 o'clock. Then you're going to have these 2 through bolt holes up here. Those are 3/8, I believe. You'll have what might be a 5/32. We'll check the installation instructions, and you'll only drill that partially deep, very shallow, maybe a 1/4 inch at the most. Then you're going to have a 1 inch hole that you'll drill here, or you'll loosen those 2 bolts with the smaller Allen wrench, and you'll move it up to this position. You won't drill it in both places because one is for a fire door, and I think the bottom position is for a fire door and the upper position is for non-fire rated, but we'll check the instructions. And you'll move the same as well, is how you'll end up doing that. You won't use it in both places. The instructions say that you can drill all the way through the door. I wouldn't at all. I would just drill halfway through on each side, because you've got that template on both sides of the door. With a template like this, there's really nothing to distract you from drilling the wrong hole for the lock that you're going to prep. When you compare that against its template, you're going to prep or drill all of these holes. If this template had other holes in it that you didn't need, I like to put a piece of masking tape over it, just so I'm not seeing it. Or put a piece of masking tape over it and write what drill bit size you need. Wouldn't be a big deal with this one because there's only going to be 3 bits you'd need. 1 inch, 3/8, and then the what might be 5/32. And that's it. That's really simple and straightforward. Now, the question becomes is, why would you want to invest in this template? Let's talk about that now. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Well, you might want this tool because you don't want to have to look at a paper template, transfer all of those dimensions to the workpiece, and then drill everything. That's why. This tool is automatically going to use as its 000 point, if it was a X, Y, and Z axis CNC machine, it'll find home right on your 2 1/8 inch hole. All the work's already been done for you. If you're going to take one door and prep it for function holes, I don't think you can justify the cost of the template. If you're going to do a job where there's a few, a dozen, 30, you'll immediately justify the cost of the template. And the advantage of buying the template is that every alarm lock trilogy you do in the future, you've got the tool for it. So if you expect to have to do those, and you want to do it in such a way where you will all but eliminate the chance for error, it's hard to argue against it. Now, the other reason people use these is, if it was me and I was doing 1 or 2, I wouldn't buy the template. If it was me and I had to do a lot of them, and I didn't want to be there all day long, I would likely make my own template, is what I would likely do. But the template that I would make, which would, probably just be 1 by poplar with, holes drilled in it, so I could maybe possibly use a VIX bit and mark the locations, or however I might go about doing that. The difference between what I would make and what the manufacturer is producing is, this is something that you'll be able to use for years, if not decades. These are certainly all hardened steel bushings that are in here. Anything that I would make is not, I'm not going to take the time to purchase bushings, set all that in place. I would just be buying the template. So if I had a project where I was going to do a dozen, I'd likely just make my own template. The problem with that idea for most people is they don't want to or can't make the template, or the person that's going to be charged with the duty of doing the work can't make the template, doesn't understand how to do it, and frankly doesn't have the skill set to reliably use a homemade template like that. This ritualizes the process in the sense that you don't even have to measure the top of the door to the center line of anything. You don't have to measure the back set either. It's, like I said, it's hard to make the mistake. You'll drill a 1 inch hole here, or you'll drill it up here when you reposition this bushing. You might drill that in the wrong place, but you'll set the tool up one time and likely not mix and match fire and non-fire rated doors. The other reason that people buy this is the people who purchase this won't be doing the work themselves. They will get the tool, they will learn how to use the tool, and then they will educate someone else and say, great, see me when you're done. Take the tool and get after it. Take your 3 bits, your power drill, and be off. So that's the other reason why a template like this makes all the sense in the world. Let's switch to the screen view now, and let's take a closer look at all the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at, and let's take a look at some images that we have uploaded first. There's the label on the outside of the box, the contents. The instructions do state that when you attach this to the door, you'll want the lettering pointed towards the top of the door. I suppose there was a reason that they put that in the installation instructions. The edge, and then the balance of all 4 sides. 5 sides, really. The back side. The floating side. Top view. Solid aluminum. That's probably 1/2 inch would be my guess. Yep, indeed, that's 1/2 inch solid aluminum. Your 2 Allen keys and your installation instructions, and we're going to go over those in a moment. So back to our item. Extended description. Drill guide for alarm lock trilogies. T2, T3, T3 Ppox. Not sure if Ppox is what they meant to say there. This unit through bolts to door using the existing 2 1/8 inch crossbore for alignment. All required mounting and function holes are located with hardened drill bushings on both sides of the template. to allow drilling from either side of the door. Standard drill guide will accommodate doors up to 2 inch thick with a 2 3/4 back set. It will do 2 3/8 as well. Okay, we have that updated. 2 3/4 back set, and we'll do a 2 3/8 back set as well. 3 3/4 or 5 inch back set requires the optional HIT-BAK adapter. Now, I recently had a client try to order a 5 inch back set link for an alarm lock product, and it was discontinued from Alarm Lock, but their sister company Marks had one. So not directly related to this, but if you're going to do a 5 inch back set and needed the latch bolt, I think Marks is going to be the company that you'd buy that from. Sold as each. When you buy one, we'll ship you one. Product brochure, let's look at that link first. This will just be a few pages from the full line catalog showing all of the different drill guides that are here. They're variations on a theme. Basically, it's a floating plate, the L section that's bolted together, and with holes drilled with hardened steel drill bushings installed where it's required, depending on the lock that you're doing. Okay. That factory image has obviously been updated for the HIT-118, etc. We'll get to the full line catalog in a moment. Let's take a look at the installation instructions, and I have those uploaded here. Here's page 1, and we'll go over it. Yeah, I actually like the printed version better because it's a little more graphical in the sense that it helps you know what to do. So let's dive into it. Remove Allen bolt and back plate. Okay, that's this bolt here in the back plate, or the floating plate. Place the 118 drill guide on door with aligning washers in the 2 1/8 inch crossbore. Lining washers are here, those discs that will fit in the 2 1/8. The HIT-118 should be placed on the door so that the writing on the front of the plate is in the upright position. Replace back plate and tighten Allen bolt until snug. Do not over tighten. The HIT-118 is now ready to retrofit alarm lock, T2, T3, T3 Ppox, cylindrical lock sets. All through bolt holes may be drilled in one operation through the door or halfway from both sides. Halfway from both sides is the way to go with this. The unit is designed to retrofit locks with 2 3/4 back sets. The use of this fixture for 2 3/8 may be accomplished the following way. Mount the template to the door as usual. The tool will overhang the door edge 3/8 of an inch. Next, with the use of a combination square, square the template to the door and tighten the Allen bolt. These instructions obviously predate the modification where they've added the bolts that we can clearly see right here. When you spin those out, put the head on the inside, that's 3/8 thick, is the bottom line. All right.
Yeah.
In this version, it would be important to use a combination square, because all they're saying is clamp this into the 2 1/8 inch hole that's at 2 3/8 back set, but there's no spacer back here, so the combination square will force you to be, you would place it on this top edge and square it to the edge of the door and then tighten. I would rather just use a spacer if I have this older tool, or even better, just drill and tap and mimic what they've done here. Give yourself, just do it the way that they redesigned it. So step 1, drill 2 3/8 holes through the top 2 bushings of the guides. These are the upper through bolt holes. That's here and here. Yeah, this is an older version. Drill a 1/4 inch hole through the door. So what you would have done is drill the 1/4 inch hole here, and then you would re-drill it with a 1 inch after you remove the template. Well, the modern version of the template doesn't work that way. So let's pull up page 1 and page 2 of the modern version right now. All right, so let's take a look at the new version. Fighting through this original version, I didn't realize it had deviated that much. So, original version, let's take a look at it. Here we go. So, we are basically down here, is where we are. Drill the 2 3/8 holes. Drill a 1 inch hole. The upper location is for non-fire rated doors. The lower location, as shown, is for fire rated doors. So you'd want to look at your template and make sure of what you're doing. If it's a fire rated door, you're likely not doing this in the field. Drill 2 3/8 holes in the door for here and here, lever through bolt. Then drill 2 5/32 holes for the anchor plate lugs located at 3 and 9 o'clock to a depth of at least 1/8 of an inch. There's something about the hardware that's going to need to be nestled in the face of the door, and that's what that is. Page 2 of these instructions show you how to convert the back set, and again, page 2 shows how to convert that back set, 2 3/8, 2 3/4. Now, the installation instructions mentioned or the extended description mentioned an adapter for the 3 3/4 and 5-inch. I'm admittedly not familiar with that off the top of my head, so let's take a look. Aha, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, super easy. So what this is, I recall now, this is basically going to allow you to extend the dimension from your edge plates to your face plates. So what I mean is these bolts are going to allow you, they will allow you to remove these bolts, these 3, and replace them with the longer bolts to do either 3 3/4 or 5-inch. That's what those are for. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that covers the installation instructions. There is the next document I'd like to take a look at would be the manufacturer's original template, so that we can kind of understand, better exactly what we're drilling. 2 3/8 holes up here, obviously these two. That 1-inch for fire rated. Non-fire rated is up at the top, fire rated is down below. That's how Major has accomplished these 2 holes. 3/8 at 12 and 6, 12 and 6. 5/32, just an 1/8 inch deep, here and here. Really helps to see exactly what you're drilling. Now, you can, per this template, fully appreciate how much time you're saving working with a combination square and not having to measure, mark, a combination square. That's what this is. Perfect tool. 3 really important tools for the woodworker: a caliper, a router, and a combination square. The point is you won't have to transfer these. So really nice type of setup with this permanent template is what I'm attempting to drive at. Okay, now to wrap this video up, there is a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page. And from here, you can pull up not only all of the Major products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, which I would absolutely recommend that you dive into. This will be a book full of fixtures and templates and jigs from this manufacturer for prepping almost every conceivable type of hardware. There's been a couple that the manufacturer didn't have a solution for, but they were extremely obscure locks. That there was obviously no demand for them to create tooling for it. There is, in the first half of the catalog, security hardware is generally what you'll find. So if you're an integrator of security hardware, such as a locksmith for your client base, this catalog is going to prove almost like a Christmas gift in the sense of discovering it if you're not already familiar with Major. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. In conclusion, if you have any questions on the Major HIT-118 template for the Alarm Lock Trilogy family of lock sets or any other Major product, please feel free to reach out to us. Major is a company that specializes, as you could tell, hopefully from the catalog referred to just now, how comprehensive of an offering that they make the material available for different lock sorts of applications. It actually, now that I think of it, it's interesting that they don't offer more templates for other pieces of hardware that they clearly could as well, such as door closers. That would be something that they could easily do with enough thought. Other people make templates for door closers, but that's the other type of hardware that you're really going to need to prep for. And I suppose if I sat and thought about it, there'd be other items that Major would be able to leverage their knowledge, their machinery, their capabilities in order to make solutions for the client, installed client base. So, any questions on anything Major related, please feel free to reach out to us. When you're prepping doors for hardware, in the major line, there is often more than one platform of tool that they offer to get to the same destination. So if you're not sure which selection to make, what templating, what jigs that you want to use to get the job done, reach out to us. If I can't answer the question or someone here can't, we'll absolutely get the right answer from the factory and communicate that. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.